Good afternoon, everybody. This is Johnny Garcia-Polo from Focal Point Coaching, and it is a cold, blistery day in Alabama in March. Go figure. But at least we're not up north getting what they're getting, so I feel pretty good about that. So what better to do on a cold, blistery day but to have another episode of coffee, virtual coffee with the coach. So I'll hold up my glass. Bruce, you can hold up your cup.
There you go.
Cheers to you for being here this afternoon on this cold day for this virtual coffee interview. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to someone that probably a lot of you need out there and probably can do some great service for you. So pay attention and make sure you hear everything Bruce has to say. And I'm sure you're going to want to run to the phone or run to your computer afterward and contact him and use his services. So Bruce is the owner of Express Employment Professionals. So what that does is customized staffing, recruiting, and temporary to hire staffing. So for those times where you need somebody, but you don't have time to look for them yourself, this is the guy you need to call. So welcome, Bruce.
Glad to be here.
So let me give you a little background about Bruce real quick before we get started. So after a career in hospital-based fitness and wellness, Bruce Gouin and his wife, Beth, opened the Birmingham South Express franchise in June 2006. They've been blessed to experience year-over-year growth every year except for two, primarily due to the excellent team of staffing and recruiting professionals they have at Express. So these are the people you want to call when you need help, right?
That's right.
Okay, so great. Glad to have you here. Wonderful to meet you. And I'm real excited to hear about what you do and how you do it. So let's just jump right in. Tell us about the business and what it is you do.
Great. Thank you, Johnny. And let me thank you also for including me in this. I think it's a great program. Good work that you do.
Thank you.
So we appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Express is, we've been open almost 11 years. And basically, we are a customized staffing and recruiting firm that works with quality employers in the area that value their employees.
Mm-hmm.
What deems our success is when we help our clients succeed in their competitive marketplace.
Okay. Is there a certain market that you deal with, or is it pretty much open?
We deal with a lot of different industries. Basically, anywhere where a client, everything we do, Johnny, our client can do better than us, actually. I mean, they know their business. They know how to really, if somebody's going to be a good fit for their organization, things like that. But the problem is they have a business to run. They have departments to run. Right. So what we do is we just save them significant time and expense. We're doing it 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, oftentimes longer than that. But we're always in the hunt for talent. And, we just basically try to help them be an extension of their HR department, their recruiting resources, their hiring resources, things like that.
Awesome. So what made you get into that line of work?
Well, when I was in my previous industry, I knew that I had a mission-driven purpose to the job I did every day. We helped people live better lives through physical exercise. So when I looked at a new career, I wanted to have that same mission-driven purpose. So when I look at what we do at Express, we're helping people find jobs, and we're helping clients be successful in their competitive marketplaces. So if you have a servant mentality, which we all do here in our office, it's a good fit for us.
Yeah. So it really is twofold, right? So you're helping the person looking for the job by, getting them into companies that are looking for people with their qualifications, and you're helping the company because they don't have to do the search. You're doing.
That's correct. We're helping them get through a busy period or find a new employee or whatever it might be.
Right. That's awesome. So what's the why? What's the why behind what you do?
Well, I think I touched on it earlier. We have a servant mentality in our office, and what makes our day is when we can help that client be successful. They may have a big contract that comes in, and they need additional people. They may not know exactly when it's going to finish. They don't want to bring people onto payroll, go through all that expense of bringing them on board, putting them on benefits, things like that, and then laying them off later, having to deal with unemployment claims. So if we can help them get through a busy period of time, successfully handle a project, have somebody that's out on FMLA leave and they need a fill-in, something like that. And again, also to help them find a good fit, to find that right fit for their organization, because culture fit is one of the most important things that we focus on, and it's one of the hardest things to do when you add a new person to your team.
Absolutely. And look, I love that you touched on some really important points, right? So you have someone out on FMLA leave, right? So you try and do everything you can to prepare for it, but the workload is just too much. What are you going to do? It's a great idea to hire someone while that person is gone. Excuse me. And you're getting someone that's qualified for the job because you're doing all the pre-screening and everything. So again, a win-win. You have a major project, you land a major deal, and all of a sudden it's all hands on deck, and you need more hands, right? But what are you going to do? So it's a great alternative for companies, especially the smaller companies, who when it's all hands on deck, it's all hands on deck, right? So they won't have time to go through the whole screening process and the interviewing and everything. So it's a great alternative for them to get someone in there to help with that project, so the rest of the business doesn't suffer. So I think it's a great win all the way around. If you were to say, someone's watching this, who would be your ideal client? Who would be the perfect person to pick up the phone and say, we need your help?
There's a number of them. One would be, like, as you touched on, the small to mid-sized business. They don't have a lot of resources available for the recruiting process, for getting everything out there in the talent short market that we're in right now. It's difficult. So we help those be an extension of again, a hiring or an HR department. The companies that have seasonal fluctuations to their business, where we take a portion of their payroll expense and we basically make it a variable cost instead of a fixed cost.
Right.
So that's very beneficial, and the way we help them. So clients that have those kind of needs. Other ones where it's just they've had a difficult time, they may usually do the hiring themselves, but they're just swamped and busy, and they need those resources, or they're just not happy with the people that are applying with them right now.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Certain size company, is it good for big companies and small companies, right?
Really all types. We deal with all different types of organizations. A lot of times I think we get the quickest, we show the quickest benefit and the most relief to mid-sized businesses to small businesses.
Right. Gotcha. So I know there's probably a lot of other agencies out there like yours, a lot of other companies that do what you do. So what actually sets you apart from those? Why would someone say, I'm going to call Bruce?
Well, first of all, they get me. My wife and I own the business, even though we're a franchise. I think we offer the benefits of that structure. We don't get bogged down like most staffing agencies have to in the how do I finance payroll, how do I deal with the workers' comp administration, the unemployment issues, the payroll processes, and all that. We keep that in Oklahoma City at our headquarters. It allows us to focus on the local market, recruiting talent, and basically responding to our clients' needs.
Okay, right. So another big plus, right? So you're local. So our local small businesses and medium-sized businesses, like you said, they get you. So there's a person, there's a actual person here that can help them. They can come see you, right? They see your face. So
right, we're locally owned. We're going to be available 24/7 for them. Another thing is, Johnny, that we hire on average a lower percentage of the typical applicants that most staffing agencies will hire. We're just pickier. We have an ISO certified process in how we do our interviewing and screening.
Mm-hmm.
We test candidates oftentimes, on the skill sets they have or the knowledge bases they have. We have a phenomenal reference and employment verification process. It's email based.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us a lot better results on that than what you typically get over the telephone nowadays. Nowadays, everybody's afraid to get sued, so nobody tells you anything about a previous employee.
Right.
And so we have a different type of approach to that that's really beneficial to our clients.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So, if someone's listening to this right now and maybe they're kind of on the fence, what's a one piece of advice you would give to somebody?
I would just say, try us, try a staffing company, try somebody in our industry. We really do take a lot of the burden off you. As I mentioned, we do something called evaluation hire. Some people refer to that as temp to hire, temp to perm.
Hmm.
A lot of times, we've all been there. You hire a new employee, you check all the things off the box, all the job description. They're doing the major parts of the job, but you can just tell they're not a fit for me. There's just something about them. They're not fitting in with my team. They're not fitting in with my culture. When you're the employer, you have a lot of legal strings attached to that. You have progressive disciplinary steps you have to take, things like that. So by using Express, it gives you that chance to date before you marry.
Right.
And all that falls on us. So if you just realize that somebody's not a fit, we will take care of things. We will contact the associate oftentimes after hours, again, removing the burden of some of those issues from our client,
Yeah.
and then try to help find somebody that's a better fit for you.
So, all right. So think about that, everybody. Just think of that, just that one thing right there. Okay. I've managed many, many, many offices and types of businesses before I started doing this. And I've used services like this before, and it is a huge relief when that happens and you do wind up getting the wrong person, to be able to call someone and say, it's just not working out. Can you take care of it for me? And you're done. You're done. That's it.
Right.
Next thing you know, there's a new person and you start over again. But you don't have to. That worry is gone. So I can tell you, it's huge. So if you've never experienced it before, you need to give this a try. 100%, you need to give it a try. So talking about that, so what kind of improvements or things that you're seeing with your clients that are using the service? What are they saying?
Well, we're helping them in a number of ways. With all the screenings that we do. Some clients may require pre-employment drug screening. We actually do pre-employment drug screening on everyone we hire into the system. Once we make them that conditional job offer, then they do go through that screening. Companies have background check requirements, other screenings that they need done. We handle all that for them. So it helps in the turnover aspect. We help reduce turnover. We help save a lot of time and expense with a company where they just can't put in the resources. They may have I meet with so many clients, Johnny, and they say, yeah, I ran an ad, and you can see the stack of resumes sitting here on my desk, and I just don't have time to sort through all that.
Right, right.
So people will apply for any job that's out there. A lot of people don't pay attention to the qualifications or requirements of the job. So it's our job to kind of sort through a lot of that and really, we talk, we get the word out to this many people. I don't know if you can see my hands here, but, and then we talk to this many people. We invite this many people into the office. We hire that many people, and that many people end up being a good fit for the organization. So it just saves them a lot of time and expense.
Yeah, absolutely. Turnover, you mentioned turnover, right? Many people do not realize the true cost of turnover. If you ever want to realize the true cost of turnover, just go out and Google what is the true cost of turnover, and it will blow your mind. The astronomical figure, right? So
there's calculators out there on the internet, and yep.
So if you ever think I can't afford this, or this is not something that would fit into my budget, but you constantly have turnover, you're not keeping the people. Look at the difference, and it's night and day. So
right.
So many hidden costs that are involved with turnover that people don't take into consideration, but they're there, and trust me, they affect your bottom line. So this is certainly a much better alternative, right?
Yep.
So you've said some about the servant mentality and working with the businesses and all, but overall, if you could say what's the most rewarding aspect of what you do, what would you say that is?
Well, it's interesting. We have a woman that we placed, I think, about 7 or 8 years ago at a local employer, actually right down the street from us. But we hear from her from time to time, and she recently responded to us on Facebook. And sent an email to us, which we shared with our staff, about how we essentially saved her life. I mean, she was close to the end of things, about to lose her home, things like that, and utilities were being shut off, and we happened to be able to find her a great job at the right time. And when you look at making a positive impact on somebody's life, which is really in the end, that's what it's all about. If we, I'll tell my staff, even if we've had a very, very rough day, we have to look back and say, did we make a positive impact on anyone's life today? That's what makes us, go every day. That's what drives us.
Sure.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, and that speaks a lot to the character of you and of the business, and again, why people should do business with you, because that's what it's really all about, right?
Right.
So. Okay, so one of the things I love talking with business owners, right? So that's my business, is working with business owners, and one of the things I love asking them, and everyone has one, so it's really pretty cool, is what's your favorite quote and why?
It's a good question. It's a loose interpretation of something Winston Churchill once said. I don't think it's word for word, but I heard a speaker mention it to us in a men's discipleship group once. But he said, when you find yourself going through hell, just remember to keep moving.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
What's the alternative, right?
Right.
And it just underscores the bottom line principle of really what drives me and anything is, when you find yourself knocked down, you got to pull yourself up, you got to get moving, you got to put your trust and put it all in the hands of God. Yeah. And you have to work the process, grind it out. Yeah. When we first opened our business, it's a franchise system, and I get great support, but it wasn't, I struggled at first. I went through a previous industry for 25 plus years where I was more or less an expert in that area. And there wasn't much you could throw at me that would kind of throw me, I guess, or puzzle me. So when you open a new business in a whole new industry, and there's stuff that pops up every day where you go, I don't know what to do about this.
Right.
When you finally, accept the fact that you just have to grind, you just have to go through the process, work the process, depend on your support system, and depend on the Lord, and it works out.
That's awesome. Well, and look, I feel your pain. I know I'm in the same boat as you, being in a new business and a franchise and great support, but. So you realize in the corporate world, you had that department you could call, right? And that department is now you.
Yeah.
But I think the payoff is far worth it. And, I think it's great. Obviously, you've done well. You're in it for 11 years. So you found the right thing. You're in the right mix, and you're doing the right thing. So cool.
Yeah, and it's all really attributed to the team. I mean, it's all about putting together a team of people, and we've got great people here in our office. Just fantastic folks.
Yeah, and that does my heart good too, because that's one of the things as a coach that I work with business owners on is, you must take care of your team. If you want your business to be successful, you must take care of your employees. You must take care of the team, and they'll take care of the employees, right? That'll happen, but you have to take care of them.
Right.
So it sounds like you've got it right. In 11 years, you're obviously doing something right. So congratulations on that too.
Thank you.
Okay, so hopefully we've got some people who are going, you know what, this is exactly what I've been looking for. It's exactly what I've been thinking about. Now I know who to call, but how do I call them? So how do people get in touch with you, Bruce?
I think the first best way would be email. My email address is Bruce. My last name, which is spelled Gouin. Bruce.Gouin at expresspros.com. EXPRESSPROS.
Okay.
.com.
All right.
And then LinkedIn, just to search for my name or to search for Express Employment Professionals, Birmingham South. I have a personal LinkedIn page with a lot of connections, and then we also have an office page.
Okay.
And then thirdly is pick up the phone and give us a call. 205-981-1141.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Any last pieces of advice you want to give, or any last last bit of information you want to give?
No, just a little tidbit about, I think, why we can really help companies right now. There's a talent shortage in America right now, and it's primarily due to a shrinking workforce.
Right.
It's been written about in the Wall Street Journal, debated numerous times as to why, but there's a statistic called the labor force participation rate, which is different from the unemployment rate.
Mm-hmm.
It's the percentage of Americans 16 and older that are either working or actively seeking employment. And for the third year in a row, that number's the lowest it's been since the late 1970s,
Wow.
in the late 70s. So there's a number of reasons for that, but bottom line is it's tougher to find talent right now, and the workforce is shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
So this is more important than ever to value the people you have, value your employees, invest in them, and try to seek help with professionals when you're looking for somebody new.
Yeah, great message. It really is. And especially again, we're both small business owners, right? So we feel the pain. We know you're the person who has to do everything. Even if you have a staff, you're still very actively involved. So this is one area that you want an expert involved. You want someone who can do that due diligence and go through the paces and make sure you're making the right hire and that the person is a good fit. So this is one place you don't want to skimp and save and take a chance, because it'll come back to bite you. So
Right.
to have resources like you, Bruce, available to us that can do that for us, and we just have to know they're there, and we have to take advantage of them. That's the main thing.
There you go.
So, well, very good. Well, great job. I appreciate you coming on and explaining how the business works and exactly what you do and how you can help small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and even large businesses. And you're local, which is wonderful. So you've got a face to put with a name. You've got a contact locally. So do yourself a favor, give Bruce a call and let him know what your staffing needs are, and give him a chance to try and show you what he can do. Right?
That's right. Well, thank you very much, Johnny, for the opportunity. I appreciate it. And I have one last plug. I will move aside, and you see the maize and blue helmet back there?
Yes.
Michigan is in the March Madness. We're in the big dance, so go blue.
There you go. Very good. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Bruce. And for everybody else, this is Johnny Garcia-Polo from Focal Point Coaching. And we'll have more episodes of Virtual Coffee with the Coach. And remember, our goal here is to bring you the best of the best, so you don't have to go looking around. So guess what? When you need staffing, now you know where to go. Here's your guy right here. So thanks again, Bruce. It was a pleasure talking with you, and I'll see everyone else on the next edition of Virtual Coffee with a Coach. Thanks.
Thank you.